my name is Jessica Clifford. I'm an Extension Nutrition Specialist with Colorado State University Extension. And today I'm going to demonstrate how to make mini meatloaves with barbecue sauce. This recipe is made in a muffin tin using individual muffin liners or baking liners. And so it makes 12 individual mini meatloaves. All right, let's get started. All right, everybody, I've got all of our ingredients here prepped ahead of time. So I'll go through each one of those. We've got our 2.5 pounds of extra lean ground beef here for the mini meatloaves. We have 1 cup of quick oats, 3/4 cup of minced onion. Any type of onion will do. This is a white onion I've chosen to use today. We've got 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I encourage you when looking for breadcrumbs at the store to look at the nutrition facts label and compare sodium levels. Many plain breadcrumbs don't have a lot of sodium added to them. You will want to avoid the seasoned breadcrumbs in this case. Just stick with the plain. We have 12 ounces of evaporated skim milk. So that's usually 1 can is about 12 ounces of evaporated milk. We have our 2 eggs here. In this bowl here, we have our spices. So we've got 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And then lastly, we have our 6 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. And any barbecue sauce will do here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started by mixing our meatloaf here. So I will begin adding the ingredients. You're just going to put it all in one bowl and mix it all together with the exception of the barbecue sauce. That is reserved for the end. In addition to the minced onion in this recipe, you might try adding finely diced celery, peppers, or maybe even shredded carrot to add to the mixture or and the variety and flavor and texture in this dish. Just another option to mix it up a bit. The eggs that we add here really help with the binding of the mixture and to keep the meatloaves from crumbling when you serve them. All right, or evaporated milk. And then lastly, our spices. All right, and I am going to use my hands to mix this just because it's a lot easier, I feel, than using a spoon in this case, just to make sure that you're not over mixing, but also getting the ingredients incorporated well together. I find that using your hands is better. If you choose to use your hands, do remember to wash them with soap and warm water beforehand as well as afterward to avoid any cross-contamination. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and dig in here. And really just mix it around, bring up the bottom ingredients and kind of switch it around. Just mixing until combined. It will take a little bit of effort because there's a lot of liquid with the milk, the evaporated milk in there. And the eggs, you do want to make sure that you get the eggs kind of squished all in there, mixed up really nice. You might also use like a potato masher. If you choose not to use your hands, that might help a little bit with really mashing the ingredients together. Over mixing the ingredients though could make the meatloaf dry and tough. So you want to remember, just mix until ingredients are evenly distributed throughout. All right, so this is almost ready to be done. I will probably just give it one more mix with my hands here, and then we'll move on to scooping the meatloaf mixture into the muffin tins and topping with barbecue sauce. Okay, I went ahead and washed my hands with warm water and soap to get all the meat off, and now we're ready to dish our meatloaf mixture into the muffin tins. And you'll see that I've lined my muffin tin with these muffin papers or baking papers, baking cups you might call them. And so that will avoid any sticking, and then that way we can pull them out easily and reserve whichever ones we're not going to be eating right away. Okay, so you just want to use your eye and the best you can divide this mixture evenly among all of the baking cups. So I'm going to start off adding a big spoonful to each one, and it's likely that you'll need to go back after adding a spoonful to each of them and add more. And we will use our hands or the spoon to kind of push down the meatloaf mixture into the cup to make sure there's enough room to add all of the mixture. So using lean, extra lean ground beef in this recipe really makes the meatloaves lower in fat and calories, but also higher in protein. And so that's why we've chosen the extra lean ground beef here. A serving of this meatloaf provides 21 grams of high quality protein and 7 grams of total fat, compared to a traditional serving of meatloaf, the same size, which provides 16 grams of protein and 12 grams of total fat. So you can see there's quite a bit of mixture, and so you can really pack a lot into each of the cups here. So like I said, after you put the first scoop in, then go back based on how much you have and fill them up. These aren't going to puff up much, so you don't have to worry about it spilling over. They will a teeny bit, but not like an actual muffin would, because there's no leavening agent in here really. We didn't put any leavening in, and we didn't beat the eggs or anything. So using the muffin pan here really helps with portion control, because each one is one serving, so you don't have to worry about how big of a piece you cut, or you don't have to measure anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest of the muffin cups all the way to the top, and then after that we will go ahead and put on the barbecue sauce. Okay, so I have my oven preheating to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are going to go ahead now and add the barbecue sauce to the top of each of these. So I have our total of 6 tablespoons of barbecue sauce here. We're going to top each muffin cup of meatloaf mixture with 1.5 teaspoons about of barbecue sauce. I'm just going to put it on top, and a lot of times, you know, I like to just let it kind of run down on its own, and then at the end, if it hasn't ran down, I'll kind of smear it all over. But oftentimes it'll run down off the top on its own. The brand of barbecue sauce here does not matter. You can use whatever kind you like or have on hand. Some stores carry reduced sodium barbecue sauce, which will help to further reduce the sodium in this recipe. People with diabetes, though, might also want to check the carbohydrate amount in the type of barbecue sauce they're using. Barbecue sauce is made with sugar or honey or some sort of sweetener, high fructose corn syrup or whatever it might be. So you may choose to compare sugar and sodium on whatever brands you're looking at, or just use whatever you have in the house. That's fine too. Okay. All right. And once there's barbecue sauce over all of them, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven. And we will be baking these for about 30 to 35 minutes. All right, so I'm going to go through, and the ones that kind of haven't spread, I might just spread around the sauce a little bit more, just so that the top is evenly coated a little bit, to make sure the flavor is distributed over the whole piece of meatloaf. All right, so I'm going to finish doing that, and then we will get these in the oven and bake for 30 to 35 minutes, and we will check on them when they're done. Okay, so I went ahead and baked our mini meatloaves at 375 for 30 minutes, and I just took them out of the oven. I'm going to take the temperature to assure that we've reached our safe internal minimum temperature. And indeed we have. This one is measuring 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 168, and the safe internal minimum temperature is 160 degrees for ground beef. I will check one more to confirm That one is also, looks like they've all reached at least 160 degrees or more. So we are good to go. So after you temp your meatloaves, you will want to let them sit for a bit and cool just a little bit to solidify. And so they're cool enough to the touch so that you're able to take them out of the tin. So if you let them sit for 5-10 minutes max, they should still be warm, and they should then easily come right out of the tin, and you'll see the muffin paper comes nicely away. And there you have it. And then you can serve it with the muffin paper on and allow your guests to take them off, or you can take the paper off for them. Enjoy your mini meatloaves. Well, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration today, and I hope that you too will give this recipe a try at home.